Hello there and welcome back to AZW. This is Nefarious in November and we have got more wrestling action for you. E-Fed wrestling action. This is E-Fed Angry Video Game Nerd taking on E-Fed Nostalgia Critic. An old rivalry renewed and now developed into full-on grudge match mode. Okay. So the backstory here, for those of you who missed it, is that these two have come into the E-Fed wrestling world because I made them, and And there you see motherfucker Mike there, and Fred Fucks. You might know who that is if you're a fan of AVGN. But backstory here is these two had a match in the European title tournament. Nice slingshot punch there over the top. AVGN taking it to Critic. That is the walking stick right there. That is his big kick that he's been using as a finisher for quite a while now, but I'll get into that in a bit. Is that the walking stick? Another reference you might get if you know AVGN. But these two had a match, and AVGN won that match via count-out victory. He used his walking stick kick there. Another version of it, Critic going for a weapon there. It is a barbed wire 2x4 and just nailed AVGN, who just took it away from him. Now taking it to the outside again. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but this is actually a first blood match, and I'm not sure what the hell AVGN was going for there. A couple of pokes to the eye, or a big eye poke there. He had that barbed wire 2x4, ran with it, and then dropped it and dived out of the ring. Looked like he might have been going for a slam there, possibly one of the variations of what is commonly called a rock bottom. Was another walking stick kick there. He has developed a couple of variations on that. And more on that now. Apparently, some of the controversy here is that people have been saying that AVGN's walking stick kick just was not a good finisher, and that's why he had to resort to using. He went for that plancha again and missed. Critic got out of the way, but that he had to resort to using cheap tactics to get at that count-out victory. Not sure how much of that is just the Critic whining, bitching about losing, and how much of it is the scuttlebutt, the rumor mill, and just the people talking in the back of house. But it got underneath AVGN's skin, and apparently he's been training with someone. Rumor has been that it's been with Tommy Dreamer, and that's one of the reasons good old Tommy has come back to AZW, was to help out the AVGN in his time of need. Needed someone to train him up a bit, and apparently wanted to increase his in-ring skills, so he didn't have to rely on cheap tactics anymore. Whether or not there's any truth to that or not, just the rumors of it and people talking got under his skin bad enough, I guess, that he called in some reinforcement to train him up some more. Big kick from Critic there, and of course Nostalgia Critic was complaining a lot about it being a real cheap victory, that his first tournament match, and he just got dropped by another one of those walking stick kicks. Big grab, double arm DDT. We've seen that from Tommy earlier, so I'm kind of guessing that the rumor that Tommy is his trainer is looking to be true. There was a big throw there, kind of landed on them fake flowers. The corner and taking him up. See what he's going to do here. That is a big super DDT. That is definitely a Tommy trademark. Now he's picking him up. I don't know why he did that. It looked like he might have actually just about had him out, but it looks like he wants to punish him. Oh, silly me, he can't pin him. This is first blood. First blood match. Silly me. Duh. Slap on the forehead there. So, the reason it's a first blood match is, of course, Nos Critic. AVGN going for that slingshot body or shoulder block out of position. Headlock, wrench, there, with a punch finish. So, Nos Critic, he wanted a match that couldn't get counted out on, and apparently the bad mouthing that AVGN was putting up with, big sidekick there from Nos Critic, but all the bad mouthing, he wanted to shut everybody up, so he was the one that called for the first blood stipulation instead of just a no count out, or no DQ, no count out, no just a hardcore match, something like that. He called for first blood, so looks like he's wanting to prove a point here, so we're gonna have to follow and see what happens. I'm not sure why he's going for a roll-up pin there, schoolboy. It's a trade of blows, big kick denied, thrown down, Nos Critic thrown down. AVGN got him up. Went for the flowers, thought better of it. Takes him down with a big DDT. It's again another kind of a Tommy Dreamer trademark there, so I'd say it's pretty damn certain at this point that Dreamer is definitely the one that's been training AVGN. Maybe, well, I'd say almost certainly he's been working with Motherfucker Mike too. Different styles there, though. AVGN's a bit more of a brawler and hardcore style, a bit more rough house. Does European division. Motherfucker Mike's more lightweight division style. Not really hardcore. Well, European division's more like the, beating the crap out of each other, not necessarily just, going for the hardcore stuff. Different styles, different attitudes. Although this is getting progressively hardcore and vicious between these two, I have to say that I'm not sure that one way or the other that this is going to be a real finish here, folks. Just have kind of a feeling that this is just getting started. Seems to be that there's been some bad blood opened up here, and neither one of them's prepared to let it go, and I don't think one win or the other, whoever wins this, I don't know if that's going to be enough to get them to drop it. They still have the rest of the tournament to get through, so they're going to have to set aside their differences. The only reason this was okayed was because Nos Critic wouldn't stop bitching about it. Hitting his finisher, the Nos kicks it. Well, he's trying to get the crowd fired up. He's got AVGN up, kicks. But, these two, whatever happens here, whatever their feelings are after this match, they're going to have to set it aside for the tournament, because that's already on the schedule, and I'm not messing up the schedule anymore just to suit them. Going back in the ring, see what happens here. Oh, that was okay. That was abrupt, a little bit out of nowhere. Well, okay, I guess that's the finish of the match, folks. Sorry, that just caught me completely off guard. I think it probably caught everyone off guard there. That was just very abrupt out of nowhere. Nos Critic manages to nail AVGN in the head with a title belt, one of the fans' replica belts, and opened him up. I think my feeling about this earlier, folks, is damn justified now, because I don't think that really shows a clear victory one way or the other, but the stipulation for this match was that the winner would actually take the victory for the tournament, so that transfers it over to Nos Critic. So he's got the 2 points for the tournament now, and I guess we'll just have to see how this develops. But as I said, the powers that be, especially me, are not going to just let these two waste all their time on fighting each other. They've got a tournament to participate in. They can't drop out at this point. So I'm hoping that this doesn't end up with a whole bunch of run-ins and interference and crap like that, or backstabbing and jumping people backstage and all that nonsense, but we'll have to see how this develops. Things could get kind of nasty here before this is all over. These two have definitely opened up some old wounds, or perhaps simply discovered, or cut each. I don't know. I'm losing my metaphor there. That there's definitely something going on between them, more than their history would indicate. Something's gone afoul, and now they're prepared to just beat the shit out of each other because of it. So we'll have to see what happens there, folks. So I'll stop running my mouth, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned.